Hello, I'm Swaroop Donepudi, founder of Planton Cloud. In this video, I'm going to explain why we built Planton Cloud, explain its features, and a few other tidbits about the product. So we built Planton Cloud to simplify deploying your software onto the cloud and provide off-the-shelf deployments of popular open source software infrastructure consumed in your software, and also implement software governance for better control over your software assets. All of these features seem unrelated, but they are not. There are solutions available to solve each of these individual problems, but the lack of cohesion between individual tools is actually slowing the innovation cycle. Planton Cloud solves it by offering a unified platform for maximizing your development velocity. Planton Cloud is built to help companies of all sizes, from startups to large companies, and let me show you around to see what I'm talking about. First, let me explain simplification of software deployment onto the cloud using Planton Cloud. So a simplified software deployment should look something like this. Set up cloud infrastructure, developers write code, developers set up remote environments. Finally, the CI/CD automation deploys to remote environments. Today, the most efficient way to set up cloud infrastructure is to use Kubernetes. Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration software from Google. So on Planton Cloud, you connect your company's cloud account, create a batteries included Kubernetes cluster with just one click. We call batteries included Kubernetes clusters as hosting environments on Planton Cloud. So you go to hosting environments, choose your company's cloud account, click create. You get an idiomatic Kubernetes cluster ready to deploy your software in a few minutes. To provide a cohesive experience, we have integrated Planton Cloud with GitHub and GitLab. So connect your company's GitHub or GitLab to Planton Cloud. Then your developers create new code projects using standard templates. Providing paved paths to your devs using templates is the best way to enforce standards. You can use the templates provided by Planton Cloud or create your own to meet your own requirements. Devs use the bootstrapped projects as a starting point to write the code that creates your software. It is a common practice to deploy software to test environments before deploying to production, right? So devs can create remote environments with just a few clicks on Planton Cloud console. These environments are created in your Kubernetes clusters. The next step is be able to automate the builds and deployment workflows. So developers can add automated CI/CD configuration to their services with just a few clicks on Planton Cloud console. Now, moving on to the second benefit, off-the-shelf deployments of open source software infrastructure to cut cloud costs. Based on our experience, we learned that primary contributors for any cloud bill are compute resources utilized to run your software or cloud provider managed services consumed in your software. We are going to focus on the managed services part because that is where Planton Cloud can help. So to put it in perspective, let me take your focus to a few managed services on Amazon Web Services. A couple of widely used and expensive managed services on AWS are AWS RDS and Kinesis Streams. Both of these are managed services built on top of open source tools. To avoid the operations overhead of running the open source options, companies usually tend to use the managed service options like Amazon RDS. But Kubernetes is now a great option to deploy those open source software infrastructure without the operational overhead. The only problem with Kubernetes option is that it demands Kubernetes expertise. Planton Cloud provides off-the-shelf deployments for such open source software infrastructure components onto Kubernetes without you having to bring any Kubernetes experience. Taking advantage of this, our customers have enjoyed cost savings of almost up to 5x times. The platform currently supports off-the-shelf deployments for Postgres databases and Kafka clusters on Kubernetes. We are working on adding more. Moving on to the next benefit, software governance. So, two main aspects of software governance are visibility and access control of a company's software assets. As the company starts to grow bigger, usually there is a loss of visibility into software assets because there is too many. So the software catalog on Planton Cloud provides an instant visibility into your company's software assets like microservices and other data infrastructure. Also, as the number of developers grow, so does the complexity of controlling access to those software assets. We drew inspiration from the way access is controlled on Google's products. We researched the technology behind Google's identity system, and Google released a paper on the internal system they use called Zenziber. It's extremely effective but very complex. Software that is simple to use is always complex to build anyway. But we wanted to make Planton Cloud simple to use. So we embraced that complexity and used Zenziber to build the IAM system on Planton Cloud. The sophisticated IAM on Planton Cloud will help you to control access to your software assets at a very granular level. For example, if you want to grant one of your devs to view the details of a particular database, you can do so by clicking on Manage Permissions on that particular database. There are two ways that you can interact with Planton Cloud: a web console app or the command line tool. Everything that you can do on the console app can also be done using the command line interface. The console app can also be opened as a native app on macOS, and that is how I use it every day. Console app supports light mode and dark mode. I personally like dark mode better. Planton Cloud is a multi-tenant system. Multi-tenancy on Planton Cloud is modeled around the concept of companies and products. Each tenant is a company. Each company can have one or more internal initiatives modeled as products on Planton Cloud. We are committed to dogfooding our technology. We use our own product in production and leverage all the features of Planton Cloud to build Planton Cloud. We are confident in the quality of our product because we use it ourselves every day. Thanks for taking your time to explore Planton Cloud with me today.
If you're interested in watching Planton Cloud in action, I've made a 20-minute video in which I go from idea all the way to production with all the steps. I can include the link in the description. Also, I made another Planton Cloud Essentials video series. This is also a deep dive of all the features of Planton Cloud.
And we hope that our customers will benefit from the level of expertise and quality that we have put into every aspect of Planton Cloud. We are committed to continuously improving and expanding the product, and we are really excited to partner with you on this journey. Thank you.